The first time I refused an alien princess, an entire star system went silent. Not metaphorically. Literally. The diplomatic chamber aboard the Celestial Accord station shut down all non-essential transmissions, its crystalline walls dimming as emergency protocols activated. Hundreds of delegates from dozens of species froze in place, translators stuttering as if the universe itself had briefly forgotten how to breathe. At the center of it all stood Queen Zyra Valeth of the Aurelian sovereignty, radiant, ancient, and powerful enough that even veteran diplomats avoided meeting her eyes for long. And she was staring directly at me. "Human," she said, her voice calm but carrying an edge that had ended wars. "Why do you refuse my daughter?" Every instinct I had screamed that there was no correct answer to that question. But humans have never been particularly good at backing down when honesty matters. So I straightened my uniform, ignored the pounding of my heart, and told the truth. To understand how things reached this point, you need to understand the Aurelians. They were not merely an advanced species, they were foundational. Long before humanity discovered faster-than-light travel, the Aurelians had already shaped trade routes, stabilized volatile regions, and quietly guided younger civilizations away from self-destruction. They looked almost angelic by human standards, tall, luminous, with skin like polished pearl and eyes that reflected entire spectrums of light. But beneath that beauty was something formidable, a culture built on duty, lineage, and carefully controlled emotion. When the Aurelian sovereignty offered an alliance, it was never casual. When they offered marriage, it was history-altering. Princess Lysara was the queen's only daughter. Scholar, diplomat, and empathic prodigy. By all political measures, a perfect bridge between species. And she had chosen me. I was not royalty. I wasn't even particularly important. I was Commander Nathan Hale, Terran Union Expeditionary Officer, assigned as security liaison during joint operations along the Rim. We met during a rescue mission. A pirate ambush had crippled a civilian convoy near a collapsing star. Aurelians and humans worked side by side, and when a hull breach trapped Lysara in a failing section, I went in after her without waiting for orders. Radiation. Structural instability. Zero visibility. Standard human bad decisions. I got her out. Barely. She saved me in return, using her empathic abilities to keep my heart steady while medics stabilized my injuries. After that, she sought me out. Conversations turned personal. Personal turned meaningful. And meaning, apparently, carried more weight among Aurelians than I realized. 3 weeks later, Queen Zyra Valeth summoned me and offered her daughter's hand. I refused. "Explain," the queen said now, her luminous gaze unwavering. Princess Lysara stood beside her, composed but clearly wounded. I could feel it, not through psychic means, but through the universal language of someone bracing for rejection in front of the world. I inhaled slowly. "Your Majesty," I said, choosing each word with care. "I refuse not out of disrespect, but out of respect." A ripple of confusion passed through the chamber. "Clarify," the queen commanded. I turned slightly, addressing both of them. "In human culture," I began, "choice matters. Not just the choice to accept, but the freedom to walk away without consequence. Your offer was generous, honorable, but it wasn't equal." Lysara frowned. "You believe I was coerced?" "No," I said quickly. "I believe you chose freely. But I did not." The queen's eyes narrowed. "You were offered status, protection, power beyond imagining. What human would refuse such security?" I met her gaze. "One who understands the cost." The chamber grew still. "With respect," I continued, Marrying your daughter would bind humanity to the Aurelian sovereignty in ways we are not ready for. Every decision I made would be seen as your influence. Every disagreement, a potential insult. Lasara would never know whether my affection was mine, or the weight of your crown. Lasara's breath caught. I care for you, she said softly. I know, I replied. And that's why I can't accept, like this. Queen Zyravalith stepped down from her throne, the air shimmering with restrained power. You presume much for a mortal, she said. My daughter is not fragile. I know, I said. That's exactly why she deserves more than being used as a diplomatic solution. A murmur spread across the delegates. The Queen studied me for a long moment. Then, quietly, she asked, Is that all? I shook my head. There's one more reason. Speak. I turned fully toward Lasara. Because I refuse to be loved for what I represent instead of who I am, I said. And I refuse to let you be defined by who you marry instead of who you choose to become. The shock was immediate. Aurelian nobles exchanged stunned glances. Humans in the chamber held their breath. Lasara's composure shattered. You think I don't understand duty? She demanded, emotion breaking through her controlled demeanor. I was raised in it. I know, I said gently. That's why I won't add another chain. Silence followed, heavy, charged, dangerous. Then Queen Zyravalith laughed. It was soft at first, then full and resonant, echoing through the chamber like distant thunder. You humans, she said, amusement and something deeper in her voice. You are infuriating. She turned to her daughter. Lasara, do you know why our people have guided the stars for millennia? Lasara shook her head, confused. Because we learned long ago that control breeds stagnation, the Queen said. We guide. We do not bind. She faced me again. You have refused power, alliance, and legacy to protect the autonomy of my daughter. I nodded. Yes, Your Majesty. The Queen's eyes softened, just slightly. That, she said, is not weakness. She raised her voice so the entire chamber could hear. Let it be recorded. The human commander Nathan Hale has declined royal union not out of fear or insult, but out of principle. She paused. And let it also be recorded that such a refusal honors my daughter more than blind acceptance ever could. Lasara stared at me, tears shining in her eyes. You would have stayed, she said quietly. Yes, I answered. But I want you to choose me without obligation, or not at all. She took a shaky breath. Then, to everyone's shock, she smiled. Then, she said, I choose to walk beside you, not above you. The Queen inclined her head. Human, she said, you have shocked me. I exhaled slowly. I'm told that's something we're good at. The alliance was signed days later, not sealed by marriage, but by mutual respect. Humanity earned something far rarer than protection that day. We earned trust. And among the stars, the story spread that a human once refused an alien princess, not because she was unworthy, but because he believed she deserved to stand as an equal. And for the first time in a long while, the universe listened.